What's up, guys? I wanted to get this quick video out to show you guys how I'm playing Striker. One of the most commonly asked questions on my stream is what engravings I'm running, what builds I'm running, skills I'm running, etc, etc. So this is going to be to answer you guys that have been asking me in chat with how I'm playing my Striker. Now, with that said, I want you guys to know that this is by no means some min-maxed guide, and it is the ideal way to play Striker. This is not that. Okay, this is for those of you. This is for those of you who have been asking me how I'm playing my Striker, and I haven't had time to answer it on stream. Okay, as always, I am streaming on Twitch 5 to 6 days a week, so please catch me on that platform. One last thing, this video is just going to be a straight one shot. This isn't gonna be like professionally edited or anything. Again, I'm just trying to get this information out to you guys, and hopefully it helps. But real quick, I want to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor, Keeps. One of the most important features in an MMO when creating your character is the hair. Unfortunately, in the real world, sometimes we don't get that choice. 2 out of 3 guys will experience hair loss by the time they're 35 years old. Keeps offers clinically proven, research-backed treatments to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. And for those of you who are home-dwelling creatures that have a level 3 weakness versus the sun, with Keeps you can get expert-level care without ever even visiting a doctor's office or pharmacy. All Keeps treatment plans are doctor recommended and delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Finding the right product is really important when it comes to these things. With Keeps, a licensed physician will help you select the right product and treatment for you and your unique condition. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off of your first order, go to keeps.com/Kanon or click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/KANON. Okay, so first and foremost, right out the gate, I'm running Esoteric Flurry. I'm not running the Deathblow build. I would not recommend running Deathblow until at least tier 3 and you're able to build enough, not only enough spec through your accessories, specialty through your accessories, but also enough crit through everything else that gives you crit, right? Like with your gear. So just keep that in mind. For me personally, regardless of early tier 3, late tier 3, I'm going to be sticking with Esoteric Flurry, just simply because I really like the playstyle of Esoteric Flurry better. If I was just going to give a very quick comparison of the two, Deathblow is the more burstier, slower, it'll feel a little bit clunkier version, whereas Esoteric Flurry is a lot higher uptime, feels faster pace, you're moving faster, lower cooldowns, just, you know, I guess more sustained damage would be the way to say it. Okay, so I personally prefer the playstyle of Esoteric Flurry because it's just, I really like the fast-paced feel of it, and I'm just gonna stick with it. So with that said, the stat priority for Esoteric Flurry, you want to be going around 1100 swiftness, or main stat swiftness. That'll be around, you know, that'll be over 1000. I just have it set to 1100 for now, with your secondary stat being spec. Okay, so you do want some crit and spec, but early on in tier 3 you might not be able to split your stats. So if it were just down to 2 stats, I would recommend putting it into specialization. Now I have this set at 500, and the reason why is because I believe, for me, 500 is the number, assuming you have wealth runes and skill points. It's the number to hit if you want to be running 4 spenders. So what does that mean? These esoteric skills right here, these are your spender skills. Okay, so we want to be running every single one except for this. What we want to be running: Tiger Emerges, Call of the Wind God, Blast Formation, and Tiger Strike. We cannot sustain having 4 spenders unless you have the 500 specialty and the wealth runes, and as well as the skill points. So the other prereq that I would say is to have enough skill points to be able to have the level 3 tripod here on your Sky Shattering Blow, and then having obviously 3 wealth runes, the higher the better, on your Lightning Whisper, Moon Flash Kick, and Sky Shattering Blow. I'm going to be showing you guys what skills I'm running pretty soon here, but for me, I feel like that's the minimum. And if I were to show you that rotation right here, so I'm gonna show you a full rotation to show you what I'm talking about with those specs. I'm gonna open here. We're just burning the skills here. I'm gonna use my first spender there, second spender here, third spender here, and you can see that that is all I get. I now have my Q and W that have come off cooldown, which will give me enough to use Call of the Wind God. But as you can see, using my Q, W, E, and D skills, which are my builders in this build, it's enough to use 3 esoteric skills, not 4. So what happens is if you don't have enough specialty to build that, then you're gonna come across multiple situations where there's no point in having 4 spenders, because by the time you build enough meter to get that, to use that 4th spender, you're gonna have like lightning strike or whatever it is, another spender come off of cooldown, and you're at that point you're just not really being efficient. So the meter generation you just saw there was with 500 specialty, 3 wealth runes, with sky shattering blow being at unlocking the level 3 tripod. You're going to need 340 skill points in order to use this. Now if you don't have 340, I don't have 340 right now. So if you don't like I do, then this is going to be at level 7. I would not take the wealth rune here at this point because you're not going to get this level 3 tripod. And for me, I just went ahead and put the bleeding rune on it. So that's kind of how I went about it. Now, with that said, that's also the reason why I personally do not run 4 spenders right now. If you're not going to be running a 4th spender, instead of blast formation or your Call of the Wind God, whichever one, depending on the fight, it really depends on you. I personally have put in sweeping kick, which also does a lot of damage and builds a good amount of meter. Another reason why I like sweeping kick is that early on, when you don't have skill points and you're early in tier 3, this extra crit rate that you get from sweeping kick really helps a lot, because obviously everyone's lacking stats, including crit rate. So the shadow cleave really helps. That's just my personal play style, and the amount of meter that you generate from it is also pretty good. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and go over the individual skills that I'm running in this build. What I like about Esoteric Striker is that I don't really need to have multiple specs like Chaos Dungeon, Guardian raids, all that stuff, main raids. I pretty much just use one spec for everything. Now, there are like there's like one skill that I might interchange, like I was talking about earlier with right now, since I don't have the end game build. I'm just kind of interchanging Call of the Wind God with Blast Formation depending on the fight. But with that said, I'm running Sky Shattering Blow here. I've got that at 7 skill points. This is the last skill that I'm going to push to level 10. Otherwise, it's not a huge priority to really pick Blessing of the Wind unless you're going raid captain for your engravings, which I personally am not. So even if this is just at level 1, just the level 1 tripod unlock, that's fine. Wealth rune on this one for sure if you have the last tripod. The next skill that I'm running is Moonflash Kick here. I've got 10 points into this. This skill is another skill that hits that does pretty good damage and builds good meter. So this one here, I'm running Intense Shock for the extra damage and the ability to change directions. So if I use my flash kick in this direction and then change my mouse direction, that second kick is going to go in the direction that I move my mouse. So I hit here and then I move my mouse here, and you see how he did that second somersault here. This really helps with bosses that are moving around. If you don't use this tripod, it's not going to do that. If I use the meter generating one, as you can see, he's just going to hit on that spot. So with that said, I would use either Intense Shock or White Flame Kick. The only reason why I would use this is, again, it really depends on your build. And especially early tier 3, you might not have a lot of specialty. Like, for example, I don't have that much specialty right now because that was just the hand that I was dealt due to the accessories that were available in the marketplace or the ones that I got that were dropped. So if you're lacking meter, you can go ahead and take this. Otherwise, Intense Shock is definitely the way to go. I want to have cooldown reduction, excellent mobility for sure, for that extra space, for that extra gap closing ability, as well as the cooldown reduction, and full moon kick for sure. Next skill I'm going is the Storm Dragon. This one's going to be just sitting at level 1 for a while. Really not much to say here. I like to run the attack speed buff, the attack and move speed here. I really like Storm Dragon because it's a 3-part skill here. And if you're running Adrenaline, Each kick is going to give you a stack of adrenaline, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that when I talk about the engravings. But yeah, just the fact that this can hit 3 times and proc things multiple times is fantastic. This is a staple skill, must have. Next skill, we've got Lightning Whisper here, another big meter generator, and this is also our team synergy skill. Does pretty good damage. This is a stable skill. You have to take it. Definitely 10 points into this. I like going meter generation, even late game. Okay, Esoteric meter, a lot of the guys in KR, I believe, run the Esoteric meter. This is just really good to build meter, okay? Quick prep, very important. Get the cooldown as low as you can, and then Fatal Lightning is a non-negotiable here. It is going to give you extra crit resistance, so this as a base lowers the crit resistance by 8%. This will do it, will lower it an additional 10, which will give you about an additional 18% chance to crit on top of whatever crit that you already have. This is one of the reasons why they say strikers don't need as much crit as some of these other classes. But this is a very, 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 very important skill. You're going to build massive meter using this skill. As you can see right here, I get like a meter. I get like an orb and a half by using it. Okay, and now we go into our spenders. No, I take that back. Sweeping kick. Assuming that I don't have the skill points, I like to take sweeping kick to replace my blast formation in most fights. Most of the time, I'd like to take Call of the Wind God over blast formation. I'll explain why here in a sec. But sweeping kick here, I like to take weak point detection. I like to take shadow cleave. The more common one is light of justice. But again, I'm using this early game, and I really like that crit rate that I get. And then of course, pure excellence. This makes this kick hit like an absolute truck. Okay, so this is really big, and you get pretty good meter from it as well. I wouldn't give up the 30% push immune damage for the meter generation, but I would definitely take this skill overall because it does good damage. The rune that I would take, again, it really depends on the build, but typically speaking, normally I'll be taking the Gale Wind here for skill casting speed. Again, especially because I'm taking the Shadow Cleave, it makes this skill come out a little bit slower, so I will be normally running that. If I absolutely, depending on how much specialty I have, if I absolutely need the extra specialty, then I would probably go ahead and take the Wealth Rune. But if you're taking only 3 spenders, you usually don't need to go maxed out on Wealth Runes to the point where you're using it on a 4th generator as well. So attack speed, not attack speed, the Gale Wind, yeah, skill casting speed increase is what I would go with the sweeping kick. Next, I've got the esoteric skills here, the spenders. Tiger Emerges and Tiger Strike. These are the 2 big ones, mainly Tiger Strike. So generally speaking, you're setting yourself up for the Tiger Strike as well as the Tiger Emerges. Of the 2, I would prioritize Tiger Strike here, but these 2 are the big ones. And then the last one that I'm just kind of cycling between, assuming I can't take 4, I normally take Call of the Wind God. From Call of the Wind God, I like to take Summon Storm because this and Raging Storms actually does like pretty similar damage, but with Summon Storm, I'm able to just cast it and then move around or continue to deal damage, and the actual Summon Storm follows the target. So if I use it here, see how it actually follows the target. This is really helpful because a lot of bosses are moving. So I really, really, really like Call of the Wind God here with that tripod. Sometimes I will take Raging Storms depending on the fight. If it's a fight where a lot of people get trapped, you know, certain mechanics where they get trapped and they have a little purple bar that you have to hit them out of. If there's a lot of those mechanics and my party's struggling with it, then I might go Raging Storms to be able to manually get them out and cleave. That tripod's really good for that. Otherwise, I normally stick with Summon Storm. Blast Formation, actually, between the 2, Blast Formation definitely does a bit more damage. However, the difference here is that Blast Formation is a lot more difficult to land. So here, Blast Formation, those extra hits at the end have to land for you to do maximum damage. And as you guys know by now, bosses are moving all the time. It can be very difficult to land that consistently. So there's that. So of these 4, the tripods I'm running on Tiger Emerges are 3, 2, 2. Esoteric, Call of the Wind God, I'm running 3, 1, 1. Blast Formation 1, 3, 2. And Esoteric Tiger Strike, I'm running 2, 1, 1. So with that said, before we get into the actual rotation, I want to just quickly go over my engravings that I'm running here. Grudge is a no-brainer, guys. I'm not gonna even explain this. It's the best in the game. Okay. From what I've tested, going with a 3-1 engraving build breakdown. Can you go 4-1? Yes, you can, but 3-1 is a little bit more realistic, and you only need 3-1 to actually do Vaulton. So of the 3-1s, I like Cursed Doll. I found that Cursed Doll does the most amount of damage. The only thing that would beat out this in terms of raw damage on a static target would be Backstab Master, but that's assuming you're landing all your hits from behind, which not really realistic in my opinion. So I like running Cursed Doll here with Grudge, Esoteric Flurry at level 3. A lot of people ask me, is it better to leave this at 1? I would say no right now, and the reason why is because these accessories that you get are guaranteed class engravings that are going to set you up for Vaulton. And I'm really not a big fan of people that are investing a lot of money into their gold accessories, unless you're just killing it with gold and you're okay with doing it. That's fine, no problem. But assuming you're like a regular Joe, I don't recommend spending too much money on your setup right now, because all of it gets replaced with the true endgame set when Vaulton comes out. So if we're going for more of a budget build, or a build that is not over the top expensive, then having your class engraving at level 3 makes sense, because you don't need a lot of your imprint books to be high. So as you can see, right now I don't even have my class imprints here equipped, because I get the maximum amount of points through my accessories, because these are free accessories. They're dropping, and you can buy them on the auction house, but they are more abundant right now. So the fact that we get guaranteed class engravings is the reason why I prefer to go level 3 Esoteric. I don't know if I'm going to swap to level 1 Esoteric Flurry later on. I might, but even in the future, I'll probably keep Esoteric Flurry at level 3. But right now, I really like the Grudge Cursed Esoteric Flurry. I don't for a 3-1 build, I don't know. I don't want to say this is the min-max build, like this does the most damage, but it's very close to it if it isn't. Okay, so Adrenaline level 1. I really like Adrenaline level 1 because it's just really, really good. For me personally, it just does not feel like 5 crit. I crit quite a bit with Adrenaline level 1 when I have maximum stacks. So it's really important to keep that up. Fantastic level 1 engraving. There are certain engravings that aren't good at level 1 that are not good at level 1, fantastic at level 3, and vice versa, right? Adrenaline is one of those engravings that perform very well at level 1, and I would highly recommend using Adrenaline at level 1. Okay, so with that said, let's go over the skill rotation here. Right here, when I use my Cloud Dragon, you're gonna see I get 3 stacks when I use that 3 times. Okay, so I'm gonna try and keep this up to maximum stacks as high as I can. So now I've got 6 stacks. I've hit my Whisper of Lightning, and then I'm gonna try and Tiger Strike for that higher chance of crit. So that's pretty much a basic rotation, right? Trying to build meter while maintaining these stacks right here, and then right when I'm ready to go, I'm gonna use my Lightning Whisper into Tiger Strike into Tiger Emerges. That's kind of the priority rotation for me, and then after that, you know, I'm going to use the rest of the spenders. It's totally fine to use the spenders before, because I don't want to cap out on my meter, so I might just go here as I'm building, and then go ahead and call the Wind God, and then go back into, let's say, whoops, messed that up. Let's reset the cooldown. So I might go build the meter here, call the Wind God here, go ahead and use Blast Formation into Lightning Whisper into Tiger Strike into Tiger Emerges, right? So again, I'm not trying to say that that is specifically the best rotation to use. I'm just trying to give you an example of, hey, I'm using my skills right now to build the Adrenaline stacks, and I'm monitoring how much meter that I'm building, and then right at the end, when I'm ready to do Tiger Strike, if it's possible, right, I'm gonna use my my Lightning Whisper into Tiger Strike and Tiger emerges. Am I going to use my Lightning Strike and Tiger emerges sometimes without using Lightning Strike? Of course I am. The cooldowns are different, right? Of course. But I'm going to try and line those up as much as I can, as well as I can. So just, again, the priority with setup, hey, I've got maximum amount of adrenaline stacks and my Lightning Whisper is ready to go. The priority is definitely going to be Tiger Strike, and then Tiger emerges. These would be definitely the priorities that you would have. So the TLDR to that rotation is I'm using these builders right here to try and build meter. I'm trying to maintain my adrenaline stack here at 6. Bam. And then maybe either on the 6th one, assuming I'm not already capped out, I'm going to use Lightning Whisper into Tiger Strike into Tiger emerges. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that helps. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section below. Again, this wasn't some min-maxed high quality guide. This is just me answering the question that I'm always asked on Twitch. I hope that helps. Like and subscribe. It helps. It really does. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.